Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Planet Kiss 96. I am bumming it today. I got my glasses on, and that is because I am completely wiped out, no pun intended, from the events of this weekend, which was the Kiss Army Homecoming event thrown by Kiss Army Things, aka Xander, Daphne, and the whole family, it felt like. I'm going to share my thoughts and my recap on that in just a second, but I do have something else I want to get to here real quick, so I got kind of a little bit going on. So in real nerdy but cool news, I finally completed a set of something. And by that, I mean I finally have something where I have all four members' versions of it. They don't look like they go together, but at the same time, it's all four, so I'm happy with that. And that is the Johnny Lightning Kiss cars. So as you can see here, it looks like Jeans has a K on it. None of the other members have any letters on them, but they all say Kiss on the back, and they all have their solo album artwork on the car hoods. And as you can see here, Jeans is actually in pretty solid condition. Paul's isn't terrible too, but Ace's is pretty scratched up, and now I have Peter's. Peter's is the newest addition I got from Kiss Army Warehouse. Thank you to Steve, who at the Kiss Army Homecoming event actually sold me this sweatshirt for 10 bucks, so shout out to Steve. But anyway, yeah, so I have all four Kiss cars now. As you can see here, and as I'm even kind of looking deeper into this now too, it looks like Ace's cars and Paul's cars are different kind of vehicles than Peter and Jean's. But nonetheless, it's still cool. I'm glad I just like finally have something where I have, you know, Peter, Paul, Ace, and Jean. As I'm looking around in here, I mean, I have the Pez if you want to count that, but other than that, I don't really have. It's all just like I either have 3 members or 2 members or just 1. So as I've said in past videos, that's something I'm looking to build up. But yeah, so proud of that, even though those are cheap as shit, but still cool. Now let's get to the real event that Kiss Army Warehouse was actually also at, and that is the Kiss Army Homecoming event in Columbus, Indiana this past Saturday. Definitely was the absolute worst weather weekend that this could have happened, but that's nobody's fault. And I don't give a shit. I was so fired up on this. I said, fuck it, I'm driving down either way. My dad kind of said the same. My mom was very worried about both of us, but we said, screw it, we're just gonna go. For my love of Kiss and iced coffee, we braved the snow and made the trek down. The way there wasn't so bad. The snow was just kind of starting, and it didn't really feel like it was sticking yet, so we were like, whatever. Not to knock anybody as well, but my dad likes to stop a lot on road trips to take bathroom breaks and to get coffee and whatnot. I like a coffee every now and then, though, so I like to stop for those too. But after all that stuff and with the weather, we finally made our way there. I want to say it was probably around 1:30 or so. Yeah, it was like 1:25. We were bummed that we were missing the magic show. We kind of came in when that was happening. But yeah, dude, it was so cool to meet Xander and Daphne and everybody in person. Again, like I've said on this channel before, and as we were talking there, it's just cool to like meet other Kiss fans our age, because it kind of feels like we're all just like the one member of our friend groups that love this band, and we kind of get shat on by everybody else in our own social circles for it. So with the power of the internet, it's just kind of cool that we can all come together at events like this in person and online. I'm happy that I'm still young enough to have found this community and to like find people again that our age that just love this band, grew up on this band, and just kind of like see the world from, you know, that point of view. Xander also knocked it out of the park. They had a whole Kiss museum spread there. They were selling a bunch of stuff. They even had a few guitars signed by Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, and I can't remember who else. I'm gonna have to watch my video. So we were wondering how the hell they even got their hands on that stuff, but nonetheless, it was fucking sick. But yeah, they had a whole spread of merch there. It was almost overwhelming, dude. I really couldn't even hone in on one thing or get too deep into something without seeing something else that catches my eye. Especially in the Kiss world, that stuff is very overstimulating, you know? They also had this whole Kiss Indiana exhibit display that just kind of showed the band's history with Kiss in Indiana. I particularly thought the little slide with AC/DC was very cool, because Kiss and AC/DC are my top 2 bands of all time. The founder of the Kiss Army, Bill Starkey, was also there. He talked a little bit, and he showed off this like interview radio promotion thing from back in 1975 when Kiss was like playing a sold-out show in Indiana. But yeah, that was very cool. The radio interview was cool, hearing them talk, you know, before they really blew up, but they still had a sold-out show they were promoting, so that was cool. At the very beginning of it, Paul Stanley was like, and as of right now, the show is sold out, which I thought that was funny and cool, just to, you know, hear that happen in real time. Yeah, he seemed just like a very cool, down-to-earth guy. Just happy to be there and talk about his time serving in the Kiss Army. It was also just cool to be in his presence, since he was just in Vegas on the Kiss cruise like a couple weeks ago, or the Landlocked Kiss cruise, sorry. So yeah, that was sick. And then the Kiss Army Warehouse had their side of stuff that they were selling, and Kiss Army Things had their side of stuff that they were selling. So with those 2 shops, that was very overstimulating for somebody like me. But with that, I will show what I walked away with. And I'm actually showing off something right now. This is another thing I got from Kiss Army Warehouse. Steve, who was there, sold this to me for just 10 bucks. So shout out to Steve, dude. That guy rules. Thank you. And then flipping over to the Kiss Museum side of things, I'll show off what I got. If you may have saw a couple videos ago, I showed off my Paul doll here that got kind of fucked up in a fire, and I had to wash him back to health. So I got him a friend, and that's Ace. So now I got 2 out of 4 of these. They had a whole bin of these there, so they had a couple of these that were even like 24 inches big, which is crazy. I didn't even know they made those that big. I also got this official Kiss Alive World Tour 96-97 magazine. And yeah, this is cool. It's just like, I think the posters are not in here, unfortunately, but that's okay. But this is cool. Got some signatures right here. The Kiss Army is alive and well. You do us proud. That's very cool. I didn't see that. I'm going to do a very detailed check of this at some point. But yeah, I just kind of skimmed it yesterday. This is very cool. It's got like biographies, interviews with everybody. So yeah, that's very cool too. Truthfully, I didn't have a ton of money to spend, but I kind of wanted quantity more than quality. I just wanted to walk out with a bunch of stuff. Did not get a record or anything like that, but I will say real quick, I saw it was like a Kiss Lego set. It was a big yellow box. I think they were selling it for like $30, but that was something that I saw there that totally flashed me back to being a kid. I totally had those, and that's just something I completely forgot about. You know, again, this was all so overstimulating for me that, you know, I couldn't really decide on one thing. What I got is what I ended up getting. But that was something that I kind of was thinking about my whole drive home yesterday, and I want to get my hands on those now. So I tried looking it up last night when I got home, and I don't even know how to search for them because I couldn't really find exactly what I was looking for online. But if any of you guys watching this know what I'm talking about, or Xander, if you happen to be watching this and know what I'm talking about, shoot me a message. I want those. I want those now. But yeah, what I got is what I got. I'm super stoked, and it was a great time, dude. Again, just meeting everybody in person, hanging out, listening to the founder of the Kiss Army speak. I wish I could have stayed for the Andrew Scombati film, but I will say I did watch that when I got home last night. Very cool, very great job. I wish I could have stayed for the screening of it, but we had to head out when we did because we inevitably were going to get stuck in the snow either way, but it was so bad. Going 40 on the freeway the whole way home, it was crazy. But me and my dad still did not care. We both still said the whole way home it was worth it. We loved it. Kept just bringing up stuff from it the whole way home. So we had a great time. Thank you again to Xander, Daphne, the whole crew for putting that whole thing on. I will have more things to show off after the holidays. But I think for this Friday, I'm going to show off all my broken Kiss toys just because I have a ton of them here. And it just sounds like another funny video to make. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for throwing that whole thing. So much fun. Thank you guys if you're watching this right now for watching. It was also cool seeing people there who like knew who I was already. Fido, hey man, nice Kiss shirt, and JT, this kid who apparently watches my stuff too. So very cool meeting you guys. That was very fun. And yeah, thank you guys for watching my channel. It's only going to get more fun from here. So tune in this Friday, all my broken Kiss toys, and tune in from here on out. Once again, follow the Instagram. That's where I'm a bit more active. Brace Fraley, Eric Carr, and Mark St. John. I'm Planet Kiss signing off.